If you bring the bladder forward.
Oh, that's the bladder?
That's the urinary bladder. And we're looking down the very bottom. Then I have the vagina there. Over here, the uterus.
Oh, I see it. It's a T.
And then technically, these are extensions of the uterus because in animals, they can form pups all along the way. But in reality, we're going to call it, this is called corner of the uterus, but for our intent and purposes, we're going to call it the fallopian tubes. And at the end, the ovary. And then you can see the broad ligament that holds it in place. You see it?
Yes.
You see the ligament? It's broad, right? That's why they call it the broad ligament. Here we go.
We haven't dissected our
Vagina, uterus, fallopian tube, ovary.
Oh, I know, don't.
Wait, where's the ovary?
Vagina, uterus, fallopian tube, ovary. Ovary.
Those little
Okay.
gray things right there.
That's it. Both. I don't like to point with this, but superior vena cava right here. This one, ascending aorta, aortic arch, pulmonary trunk. Ascending aorta, aortic arch, pulmonary trunk. Right here, the tube right here. You see it? Going in or coming out, rather?
That's a trunk, right?
Right. Ascending aorta here, aortic arch, pulmonary trunk. Ascending aorta, aortic arch, pulmonary trunk.
Where's the descending aorta?
Descending. I can pin it. See the blood vessels leaving, exiting. You see it?
There you go.
Descending. Abdominal aorta. Okay? The gallbladder is on this lobe, but in this mink it's not. So it's a little different. Gallbladder. So let's look for the cystic duct right here. You see it?
Yeah.
Right there, cystic duct. And then
Hepatic ducts are next to it.
look at the hepatic ducts. There's a whole bunch of them. Hepatic duct, cystic duct, comes into common bile duct. Cystic duct, hepatic ducts, common bile ducts.
Can you pin it? Let me see.
Here's another hepatic duct right here. A cystic duct right here. And they enter right here at the common bile duct.
Okay.
Again, that's the beginning of the duodenum right here. That's pyloric. Where the stomach, where the duodenum enters the stomach. Cardiac.
Wait, when you want them into the stomach?
Cardiac. Bronchus. Oh, nice. These are nice. Okay, look at this. Whose mink is this?
Ours.
Very nice. But you have to learn it in all the minks. This is nice to show. This could be red. It should be red. Vein is highly oxygenated. This here, the pulmonary trunk, and this is the pulmonary artery. Pulmonary vein, pulmonary trunk, and the pulmonary the pulmonary vein. The pulmonary artery. Forget pulmonary trunk. I don't know what I'm saying.
Yeah, I was like
Bronchi. All of this is bronchi. You see it? And then it branches off here. Beautiful branching. You feel it. It feels just like the trachea. On the lung itself. Parietal on the thorax.
Okay.
It could also be
On the heart.
right here. Not on the heart. That's parietal pericardium. But I'm talking pleura right now. It could be on the diaphragm. In fact, you can see part of it right here.
That's parietal.
Parietal pleura. Then on the heart, this part, it's almost like if they blend together, but they don't. This is parietal pericardium. And the parietal pericardium here is partially gone. Here's the thymus gland right here. Visceral pericardium.
That's parietal
Pericardium. Visceral pericardium.
Visceral pericardium.
Parietal is looser. Visceral is like really tight.
Okay.
That's the way I remember it.
Internal jugular. Carotid. Right next to each other. What else? Right here. Superior vena cava, ascending aorta, aortic arch, pulmonary trunk. Here. It's not memorizing, it's understanding. And right next to it is abdominal aorta. There's a nice link for this. And in here, the common iliacs, and you can see them. Common iliac artery, common iliac vein. Okay? Epididymis. You don't see that there's different? It's like a flap over at the end of it. Do you see it? Epididymis. That's a testicle. Epididymis. And then here, vas deferens. Vas deferens. If I take the whole thing and cover it out, it would be the spermatic cord. Spermatic cord. But if I only take this, vas deferens, and this epididymis, and this testicle.
Look at that.
Yes.
Inside the testicle is the seminiferous tubules. So you have epididymis, vas deferens, seminiferous tubules, spermatic cord. Layers, falciform ligament. And then this fat pad, and then capsule, renal capsule.
It's a really big.
And then I need a scalpel.
Tuning into random conversation.
Yeah, I know. Me too. I heard it too.
Renal pelvis, right here. You can see the tubing right here. You see how there's an indentation right there?
Renal pelvis.
Renal pelvis. Renal pelvis.
Yeah, I haven't heard that.
Cortex, medulla, renal pelvis, renal pelvis. Cortex, medulla, renal pelvis, renal pelvis. And then in here, hilus. And then the vein, renal vein. And in the back, renal artery. And then ureter. The front of the urinary bladder. If I clean this off, right here, urethra.
So it's like right before going in.
Right, urethra, right.
But it's the
before.
same. It's the same tube.
Right. And then in the penis,
Urethra.
down the center of the baculum, you see the opening? That's also urethra. Yes. If I pin the bone, then it's the baculum. If I pin up at the top, hook of the baculum. And if I pin down the center, hook. If I pin down the center, urethra. That's it.